I'd like to start off with greetings. We have several honored guests with us. I'll come up and make comments. The Honorable Peter Kinder, Lieutenant Governor of our great state of Missouri.
Thank you, Lance. Great honor to be back here at the annual meeting to join so many friends, fellow board members, and our media partners, folks in the energy industry as we tackle this important work. It's a great joy for me to play the small part that I play each year in the Hardee's Rise and Shine event in February, and to try to help out any way I can. I bring you greetings on behalf of the state of Missouri, and let's tackle our work with joy and commitment over the next year. Thank you.
Our next guest, City of St. Louis Mayor Francis Slay.
Well, good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to welcome all of you here and thank you for your individual and your collective involvement and participation in this wonderful charity for the people of St. Louis, for the St. Louis region. This is an effective organization, and as you know, 100% of the dollars raised go directly to someone in need in our community, and I want to thank you for that. But before I get into the remarks prepared for me by Gentry, I want to say two things. I want to clarify the record with respect to Reverend E.G. Shields. He's getting married July 7th, as I understand. Congratulations to you. He was married for 45 years to his wife, Rosie, who he lost a couple of years ago. 3 years ago. So congratulations to you. And there's a new senior building that you're building over near your church, and you're naming it after your former wife. So that's very nice, and congratulations on your new relationship. And the other thing, I think it's important to note that, we're all working with Gentry. He's in our lives. He tells us what to say and what to do and where to sit and when to talk and all that kind of stuff. But this guy is a genuine human being who is very, very generous with his time. He doesn't get paid for what he's doing, and he really has been the impetus behind this organization, and he is the energy that really keeps everybody together, keeps it going, and keeps it an effective organization. Gentry, I think we ought to thank you for all your efforts. I'm pleased to announce, and many of you know this, that we accepted more than $1.1 million in donations during the 2011 calendar year. That's a great thing to talk about, especially in a tough economy. And it's a credit to all of you that are here. And I'm proud to say that the city contributes a substantial amount of money to heat up and cool down St. Louis. Our grants join those of St. Louis Rams, Hardee's Food System, Missouri Foundation for the Health, Vatterott, Ameren, Missouri, and Ameren Trust, and the hundreds of men and women, including those of you that are here, our directors, the organizations that they represent, and people who live in the region and who are making significant donations all the time. I'm also pleased as well to join with Reverend Nance this year. He's looking great. He's doing well. He's preaching again, and we were just at his 100-year anniversary of his church just last week. And Earl, you've been a great friend. You do a lot for this organization, and we're certainly pleased to have you back. And I want to congratulate all the honorees, including Tom Voss and Chief Jengerson, and most importantly, those who are receiving our Hardee's Heat Up Media presentation. So congratulations to all of you. I met just this morning or this afternoon Mark Pimentel, who is the new president and general manager of KMOV, Channel 4. I just wanted to recognize you, Mark, welcome you to St. Louis. And we are his first community outing. I think he took over the position earlier this week. And as general manager, he will be receiving an award honoring his station along with other members of the media. He's from the Louisville television market. Thank you again. Your efforts helped drive home the importance of this organization, so much so that last year we actually received a $20,000 gift from a New York private foundation. Thank you again, And on behalf of the people of St. Louis, I really appreciate all your efforts and participation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And now I'd like to invite up St. Louis County Executive Charlie Dooley.
Let me say good afternoon to all of you. I'm extremely happy to be here. Good afternoon. You people are so weak, I don't know. And you ate? Everybody full? Good afternoon. Okay, good, outstanding. I am extremely happy to be here. Again, I want to reiterate this about my good friend, Reverend Nance. Been knowing him for a long, long, long time. You know my father in the ministry, just a good person. It is good to see him once again on his feet and doing what he loves to do best, and that is preaching God's word. Good to see you, my friend. To my good friend, Mayor Slade, it's always good to be with you in the city of St. Louis. And let me mention one thing, and I can say this about my good friend, Mr. Buford. As you all know, this is your last year, right? Have everybody seen the socks this man got on today? He's the only one that can wear socks like that and get away because he's retiring. But that being said, this is an outside. No, don't, it's too late now. But as the mayor indicated, this is a great organization, Heat Up St. Louis. There's no question about it. And the best thing, and the mayor hit right on the nose on this, is that every single dime donated is put right back into the till. There's no overhead costs, no administrative costs. Everything is donated. Everything is for the cause, for the people, the disabled, the moms. But the thing that I think is most importantly, people know what's going on. The day we gave the air conditioners out, I got calls at my office that day, when do I get my air conditioner? So it is working, all the media people, everybody working together to make a difference. And that is what's going to continue to make St. Louis a great place to live, work, and play. So on behalf of St. Louis County, I do want to congratulate all the awardees today. They're doing an outstanding job.
Robin Levan from Vatterott College. Robin, would you please come up? Vatterott College is making a $5,000 donation to Heat Up Cool Down St. Louis, 100% of which will go to the needy in our community.
It's an honor once again to be a part of this distinguished group in helping the at-need population here in St. Louis. It is our great joy to accept your new and gently used window unit air conditioners at any of our Vatterott locations to help that population get everything they need in this hot, hot summer ahead. So, look in your basement, see if there's a dusty air conditioner down there that can really be of use to someone, or make a fiscal contribution if you're able, because as Charlie Dooley noted, 100% of all financial support goes directly to service. So I thank you all for all you do on behalf of the at-need population here in St. Louis. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. What a city we live in when we can get together every year, because Gentry gets us here to do something good. And everybody in radio, cable, Dean, advertising, everybody is here. It's a wonderful thing. I'll read the prepared remarks from Gentry. Everybody relax. Get a cup of coffee. He's not listening to me. As Senior Vice President for Heat Up St. Louis and MS Radio, it gives me great pleasure to announce this year's Corporate Citizen of the Year honoree. For 12 years now, Hardee's Food Systems has not only sponsored, but has underwritten 100% of the cost and produced thousands of sausage and egg biscuit sandwiches made from scratch. Each Friday, closer to Valentine's weekend, Hardee's biscuit makers arrive in the wee hours of the morning and get ready for the annual Hardee's Rise and Shine Heat Up St. Louis fundraiser. I look forward to this every year because I get the call from Gentry, and then I have to get my staff together, and then we all head out there and do this. It's really, they used to call this road blocking. It's really a cool thing. Hundreds of Hardee's employees are positioned in the drive-thrus and the front counters of Missouri and Illinois Hardee's restaurants, and many corporate managers and employees get their Rise and Shine volunteer aprons on, with about 500 community leaders, politicians, businessmen, and women. Our Lieutenant Governor, Peter Kinder, St. Louis Mayor Francis Slay, County Executive Charlie Dooley are shuttled with Other members on board around as many as 60-plus locations in Metro East and the city of St. Louis and counties, St. Charles and Jefferson counties. Some end up with Robin Smith of KMOV, Channel 4, or with a weathercaster from KSDK, Channel 5, or a reporter from Fox 2, all live on location remotes. But they also visit with thousands of customers with local live remotes with my company, Emmis, CBS, Clear Channel, Beth's company, Hubbard, Radio 1, and KTRS radio stations, where everyone is promoting this event, everybody. It's road blocking and encouraging customers to purchase as many sandwiches as possible, as well as leave extra donations with the celebrity greeter. This past February, the event raised, in a matter of several hours, $95,000. Isn't that great? Since its involvement, more than $500,000 have been raised with this promotion. Heat Up St. Louis, a regional, not-for-profit, independent charity covering about 16 Missouri and Illinois counties, and the city of St. Louis then allocates funds to about 12 of its local service agency partners. They both search for seniors and the disabled and low-income people with children, giving them a helping hand, a utility grant to keep them warm and healthy each winter. It is very rare these days that a retailer turns over 100% of the dough to charity. That's awesome. Rise and Shine has become a community-wide, non-competitive media event recognized by governors, senators, and even several U.S. presidents. As members of the media, we feel that this is an exceptional fundraiser and public service, and projects like this are noteworthy, and as such, Hardee's senior management and employees in the field are passionately committed to our cause. It gives me great pleasure to present the Good Corporate Citizen Award of the Year. In accepting this presentation is longtime board member and top senior executive Steve Lemley as Senior VP, Field Marketing and Media for Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Come on up.
Our next report, Spencer Coach, KPLR, Fox 2. There you are.
I, too, don't have anything with me to report other than to say good afternoon. It has been such a pleasure to be, you can't take this thing off, right? Been a great pleasure to have been part of what we've been doing with Heat Up and Cool Down since its inception. When you do 10 hours of news a day, 75 hours of news a week, I think it's more about than just contributions, it's awareness. And I think that's one of the things that we've worked hard on at Fox 2, and Gentry's great friendship and all the folks here. I just want to say it's great to be part of this organization. Congratulations.
Melanie, would you bring up Reverend Early Nance with the Lieutenant Governor, please? Reverend Early Nance. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a standing ovation and knock it off. Get up, and this man came back from death. Can I have sound? Thank you. Stay right where you are. I'm going to do this off because I don't want to be, you guys are more important than I am. I'd like to stay in the background. In 2000, after working with a good guy named Lee Lieberman, who had retired from another company, we decided after 23 years to go on our way to do something more independent, to be able to involve the media on both sides of the river, because Lee's only went to 6 counties, and we were looking to go to 14, 18, and we wanted to bring it together and be independent from the utility companies. We wanted to do advocacy, one place to shop, one place to call, one place to get help, another resource to help the agencies like Buford's agency and all the other agencies that are here today, from NECAC to St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, and so forth and so on, and St. Patrick's as well. So we came up with this idea. A lot of people boo-booed it, and we had the hat sale. Y'all all remember the hat sale. They thought it was nuts. Bob was there. We had a vision. Norm was there. Norm started us out hundreds, thousands of dollars. You know the story. The IRS called me. You're going to love this one, Tom. The IRS called me after this guy submitted 150 pieces of paper. And they said, we want to talk to you about Norm Newmark. I said, what did he do? Well, we want you to know this is the best legal work that a charity has ever done, and we got that in 2000, faster than anybody else in the history ever, 3 months for a not-for-profit. And of course, 5 years later, we had to prove ourselves. As you know, you have to prove yourself and fill out reports, endless reports, people, more reports than you'll ever know. And at any rate, the point is, I call Reverend Nance, and at the time, he was doing something else. And I asked Reverend Nance, I said, Reverend, I need your help. We need a little more credibility. You know, nobody's going to get anything from some guy who's been on television and whatever. To the surprise of other people, and where Reverend was involved with another organization, he stepped forward. And Reverend stepped forward, he understood what needed to be done, and he told those other people, and I'm just trying to be polite, that it's all about the people. And every time we need somebody to call, before his near-death experience, every time we needed somebody to be on TV, to be at a meeting, even to be at an audit meeting, to be wherever, Reverend Earl E. Nance was there. Robin, you know, come get the air conditioners. Everywhere, Reverend Nance. We lost a good friend, even though he's back now, but for 4 or 5 months, I'm going to tell you something. I lost the best counselor I've ever had. It's always good to have Charlie. It's always good to have the mayor. You guys are great. But the genuine spirit of a man, I just barely, it was just too much. You're back with us. You deserve more than just a piece of paper and an award. You deserve our ever thanks for all that you do, not just for Heat Up St. Louis, not just for Cool Down St. Louis, but for the St. Louis metropolitan area. God bless you, Earl, and we're proud to give you this award.
Gentry, thank you very much. And thank you to Heat Up and Cool Down St. Louis. I just thank God that I'm still here. And this is a great organization that does great things, and it has great people in it. December 18th, I had a heart attack. I was in a coma until February the 5th. I didn't know what was happening, but I've since learned so many people, the prayers, the good thoughts, the mayor stepping up. So many people, I appreciate all of the prayers and the good wishes, and I needed every last one of them, too. I want to thank my doctor, Dr. James Knight, Sister Donna Knight, and Dr. Gregory Ewald. They saved my life, and I appreciate that so very much. But what means more than anything is a response to the people of the people. I want to also thank Gentry. He got with my wife, and he was like the gatekeeper to make sure I wasn't overwhelmed. But I appreciate this award. It means a lot to me. I didn't have to receive a reward, but I'm glad to be back. So when people ask me, or they say to me, Reverend, it's good to see you, I say it's good to be seen.
2 years ago, or 3 years ago, when a lineman lost his life, trying to get us what you and I consider convenience. When our mother was around, our grandmother, they didn't have air conditioner. They were lucky to have air conditioner. They were lucky to have electric. I knew a lot of things happened because you guys know I'm in the media and I have my opinions, and I'm also in the PR business. So that, let's say, maybe they didn't have the best representation. Maybe they weren't able to tell their story. There was only one other guy that I really had admiration for, and most of you know Lee Lieberman, who's still a good friend. He's retired, one of the best. I've never met anybody in the utility industry ever was as dynamic as this guy, who saw the light and moved forward. Things that moved backwards since then, but he's moved forward when Lee Lieberman was involved in St. Louis in the utility business. Next to Lee Lieberman, which is hard shoes to follow and to fill, is a guy who has passion, believes in volunteering, sets the pace for his company and his corporation. That's what you do. When people see your boss out in communities, when he sees him over at Herbert Hoover, Matthew Dickey's, when he sees him at the NAACP and the Urban League, a member of the Urban League board and all these other boards, that says a lot to those Ameren UE thousands of employees. So after this untimely death of this person, when they had outage, I have to watch my language, we did not moan and complain. When our lineman came over to us, Tom, you didn't even know this, we gave him cookies. When the lineman came from across this country, you didn't know this, Tom, I didn't even tell Richard this. We gave them cookies. We helped them. We told them where direction. Linemen were running around the Central West End. You know how liberal is Central West. We help everybody. And these guys were trying to get to North St. Louis. They were trying to get to South. They were trying to get all over. We help these people because they're human beings. They have a job to do. They have work to perform. They have children. They have a community and a sense of community. Before Tom, I'm going to be honest and blatant, Kim Tucci, I, and Earl Nance did not get along with somebody before. Matter of fact, I tell the story, Tom, you didn't know this. This one guy was so different. Instead of sending us a letter to our offices, he actually wanted us to know where we live, so he sent Kim Tucci's letter to his home, Reverend Nance's letter to his home, and it was real funny, it really was. But in the end, when Tom took a hold of this company, and he got people like Richard, he got people like Baxter, he got other people involved in this company and this corporation, things have changed. Our complaint ratio in the last 3 years, when people call in, I think you look at the report last year, I think we had 69,000 people call in on our hotline. 69,000 overwhelmed us, but they call in, they go online. Our complaints, even in the summer, believe it or not, they're not with Ameren. Oh, they're complaints, but they're not legitimate complaints. You know, people want deals and whatever. But the point is, you put them together with the other vendors we work with in the 17 counties, it's gone down dramatically by 80%. We listen to people when they complain and say this person didn't do this, and this person was wrong, and this person was right, and this person was this way. These people respond. And Tom is not getting the award because he gives us $50,000 a year. Tom is getting the award because he's a man of consciousness, he's a man of strength, he's a man of character, and he wants to do the right thing. And my mother, as most of you know, 85 years old, retired NAACP National Board, you know her, Jim, real well. She taught me a long time ago, you bring people along, you bring them along with you, you teach them. You can throw bombs and firebomb and picket, but if you don't bring people along, how they're going to learn, how they're going to work together, how can you dialogue? We're dialoguing with Ameren, and it's making it better for the consumer, and it's making it better for Ameren. We won't always agree, Tom, but most of the time we will. To this end, I am proud to present, and I won't present, the mayor will, because the mayor, unbelievable. I bumped into him and I told him about Tom, and he went on for 10 minutes. Everything you said, I wish I could say because you're good at what you do. And on behalf of us, we wanted to extend to you and your lovely wife. If you can bring those roses up to his lovely wife. Yeah, and hold it at the bottom. Carol is the strength behind. It's always a woman who straightens out a man, isn't it? Lee Lieberman hands Ann Lieberman, and he has you. So y'all remember that. If you ever want some help, don't bother him. Call her up. Hold him on the bottom, dearest. All right. So, Mr. Mayor, you got it.
It's always hard to follow Gentry. So I was a little concerned he was going to talk about 69,000 complaints there when he started. But I feel deeply honored to receive this award from this organization. I know it's such a great organization and it does so much good for the whole area, whole metropolitan area. And it helped fulfill it's reinforcement for our values of being supportive of the community and trying to be good corporate citizens. So we very much appreciate this. I feel very honored. It's a great organization, and thank you for all you do for our area. Thank you.
Our next awardee, the Good Neighbor Award, is going to a gentleman whose wife received the award last year. So now it's all in the family. And I'm talking about Chief Dennis Jenkerson, Fire Chief of the City of St. Louis. The chief is always there when we need him. He seems like he drops whatever he's doing to cut spots for us for the Hardee's Rise and Shine program, for the Rams boot program with the firefighters. And, you know, we talk about Heat Up St. Louis, and we talk about heating homes in the winter and giving air conditioners out in the summertime. But one thing we sometimes forget about, we forget about the safety issue, the safety and health issues of people not having a warm home and people not having a cool home. And Chief Jenkerson has led that fight for us to make people more aware of how it's important to keep residents safe and healthy for our citizens. And he's done this as Vice Chairman of the Health and Safety Committee for Heat Up, Cool Down St. Louis. And again, I can't reiterate how many times he's been there for us when we needed him. He's been a face of Heat Up, Cool Down St. Louis, and it's a pleasure and an honor to give him our Good Neighbor Award this year. One of the most important boards that you serve on, if he had to list his top 2 or 3, Heat Up St. Louis is in that top 3. And we're honored that he mentions us when he talks about what he enjoys most about being on the particular boards that he has. He has just really exemplified what it is about volunteerism. He's exemplified what it is about education, what he's done for the community as far as educating everybody on how vital it is to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I can't think of anybody more deserving of the Good Neighbor Award, Jim Buford.
I truly am honored, and Kim's right. I think Heat Up, Cool Down is an organization that is so in tune with what we do at the Urban League, equalizing life chances for people. And yesterday when we were giving out air conditioners, there was a lady down on Oregon Avenue who was contemplating a pacemaker. It was like an oven in there. She had 3 fans. And when we brought that air conditioner that came through Ameren and Cool Down, her life changed. And that's what this organization is about. Gentry founding it, and all of you pushing so hard to bring it to the level it is today. And I accept this on behalf of my 210 staff. Victoria Reeves, my Vice President of St. Louis City and County Operations, is there. So on behalf of the staff and the Urban League, I thank you very much.
The media is what makes the Rise and Shine for Heat event work. Just a few years ago, Gentry, I think we were only raising about $30,000. Every year it goes up, the work that you all do, getting people into our restaurants, wearing out our biscuit bakers, it just gets better every year, and we want to thank you, and we want to thank Spencer.
This is for the extra mile, and we appreciate the extra mile that the station has gone, that extra mile. We appreciate the Rise and Shine because there's always breaking news. You guys have never broke away from us. Last year we had to be outdoors, but it worked out fine. But you're always there, and it's not about us, it's about awareness. And also your numbers didn't hurt, Spencer. I don't know if you know it, Spencer's #1 in the morning or something like that. But I want to tell you that because it says you can still be #1 in the morning and still do good business of doing things like Heat Up St. Louis and Rise and Shine. So somebody could say, well, we don't want to do that. Nobody's going to watch the TV. You'd be surprised what people watch on the TV station. You know, well, yeah, that's another story, isn't it? So Spencer, on behalf of Heat Up St. Louis, we'd like to thank the station and both stations, Fox 2 and KPLR TV, for all that you do for Rise and Shine and for Cool Down St. Louis. God bless you. Ben Turek, as you know, is one of the most popular guys who spends a lot of cash dollars in the marketplace, and he runs a great organization. And he has a great bunch of creative people who read and proof everything we do, except for your stuff, Mayor. She never proofed it. What's her name, who I work with over there? Renee. Renee is the best proofer. If you ever want a proofer, you call Renee up. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'll make this brief. First of all, I want to thank all the media for all the work that they do throughout the year and through the past years. We garnered more than $2.5 million in added value during 2011, so that's great. And you know an ad guy loves added value. That's so wonderful. The electronic media, we are asking if you'll consider to ramp up your PSAs a little bit because it's going to be a hot summer and Cool Down St. Louis is going to need that. I want to take note that Hubbard Radio donated more than $300,000 on their own in on-air time to help us out last year, and we want to thank John and Amanda for that. Thanks to the St. Louis American, the Suburban Journals, the Post-Dispatch, and we'd also like to thank St. Louis Front Page for running our stories and banners. By Friday, we'll be distributing Cool Down St. Louis awareness and donation banners that we hope you'll include in your websites. And just a reminder that even in the report that you see, there's so much more that is not covered in that report. And we just want to thank you for your help and your continued help. Thank you.
Michael Shipley is the news director of KSDK News Channel 5. I've known this man, and I have known you since you were news director, and we have an interesting relationship, Michael and I, but Michael knows about the community, and he does what he can to help, and unfortunately, he doesn't have Spencer's, how many hours, Spencer, a day? 9? 10 hours, and you have how many a day? Not that many, okay. The point is, he's a great guy, and he never turns us down. Anyway, Michael Shipley, you are a great guy, and we appreciate everything you've done for Rise and Shine. You're there for us every year. You take the location on Broadway, and you make a difference for us. And I want to shut up before I get in trouble, okay? And we're happy to give you the Extra Mile Award, which is a different way of doing what you're doing, different than other people, because that's the way it is. So we'll just leave it like that. You can go ahead and say a few words, and then you can go on about your business, okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. At Channel 5, we do consider it a privilege to serve St. Louis, and it's an honor to be with all of you because you have that same belief. So thank you very much for this on behalf of Lynn Beal, our general manager, and all of us at Channel 5. Thank you very much.
Could you turn around, Mike, and take some pictures? Come on up. John Kiowski, get up here, John. And then we're going to go straight down to, everybody does a great job in this room. We call everybody. Everybody does, they volunteer, they do great things. John goes the extra mile. He winds up with 60 to 70 volunteers for Rise and Shine. He pulls the salespeople, he pulls the clerks, the secretaries, you name it. John and Amanda do a great job in finding the bodies. All of our media partners make a difference with Rise and Shine. John went the extra mile because he gave us more exposure than we would never have gotten on your radio group, and it's Hubbard now. And Hubbard is more about profit than the last group because they were more about doing good and feeling good. We know that. So we know if John has any gray hair now, we'll know that he has a new owner. And even though you have a new owner, you're still doing great things, and we appreciate it. For all you do, and Amanda and the 75 employees that came out for Rise and Shine this last time, and Spencer, they really lit up the air with those live remotes, live this. Everybody else was there, but they went the extra mile, okay? So, John, it's yours. Congratulations.
Thank you. I usually don't need this because Amanda would tell you I've got the loudest mouth at the radio stations. You know, the only thing I'd like to say is this business in broadcasting that we're in is enormously competitive. This is one of the great organizations that all the radio stations and television stations come together. It has nothing to do with competition. It's all about helping. Thank you.
Gentry, thank you for your passion and all the work you do throughout the year. Our corporate partners, as individuals, as professionals, all that you do. And please remember what we do for individuals each and every day, not in our neighborhoods, not in our cities, not in our counties, but in our entire region. We are one community, and this organization makes that statement. So thank you to all of you.